Hello and welcome. Welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz, and I'm being joined by the King of Freestyle, Mr. Stevie B. Stevie
I
B,
changed my
welcome.
title. I changed my title right now. It's the God of Freestyle.
Yeah, I know the mic is now, surrounding us and stuff. Before
Everyone must obey my commands.
exactly, Jose, stop playing with yourself.
Stop playing with yourself right now. Give
Yeah.
yourself a break. Give
By the
yourself a
way,
break.
that's a reference to a movie from the '80s called Real Genius, where they
Okay.
implanted the guy with a fake microphone in his tooth. And the guy thought he was talking to God, but it was because the microphone was in his tooth. So it's a throwback to that.
I know you're a
Um,
movie buff, but I didn't see that movie.
Real Genius with Val Kilmer in the
I didn't
80s.
see. I
I'm
didn't
I'm
see.
sending you a gift. Send me your P.O. box.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you on
Okay.
Blu-ray.
Stop playing with yourself.
It is God.
Okay.
Once again, welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live, and I'm being joined by the all-around voice of freestyle, the king of freestyle, Mr. Stevie B. I'm truly excited to talk to you because in 2020 you released an album called The Best of Life, and a lot of those songs that were on there were great. It's one of your best albums. But for me, one of my favorites, or probably my favorite song, was Take It All Back. And that song was really underrated back in 2020. And now what you did was you brought it to 2023 with new vocals, new production, and you're revisiting the song. And I hope that it gets the attention that it deserves. Let's talk about that song for a moment. What is the inspiration of that song?
Well, we've been at this now for about 35 years, and then whatever years it took us to get to the 35. So a lot of us have been at this a long time. So we have a history of trying to make music. Freestyle, I realize now as a 65-year-old guy, was something miraculously created for us. And it's a door that allowed myself and many others to express ourselves creatively, inspirationally, and get to people. I mean, we always probably had this yearning for a long time, but I didn't see myself doing R&B or anything else. So the universe that's in control say, you know what, we're going to create a genre just for you and a few others. And well, I was saying, well, how are you going to get them to like it? You see, you just do it and they'll come. They'll like it. And I realize that now is something very beautiful. So I have a 35-year career with freestyle. So this is really talking about freestyle. It's talking about the past. And as the older I get, let me tell you, the more disappointed, even though we have a lot of technologies and
Yes.
we consider a better lifestyle. I don't think it's a better lifestyle.
Yeah, the song does express going back and going to the theater, all the little things that we truly appreciated. Actually going to a theater together, going to the movies, right? Whenever there was beef, we would put it aside to party. The street beefs, you talk about that in the song. There's a lot of throwback to that. It does bring me back. That's why it was one of my favorites in your album in 2020. And I'm so glad that Take It All Back is being revisited, resung, reproduced, and re-released for 2023, so people can enjoy it and actually listen to the words. I'm a words person. People love the beats of freestyle. I like the story, and this song right here tells an excellent story.
And it took a while. You notice that the track is like 6 minutes and some change, and I wasn't going to cut it. I said, I'm not going to do it. You cannot. I know Spotify and all these applications demand 3 minutes in this, but you can't tell a story in 3 minutes. It's impossible to do. So by the time Felix, all the ideas that he had to go into, Felix Sama, DJ Felix Sama, shout out to him. It was at 6 minutes, and he said, well, what do you think? I said, well, at some point you're going to do a radio edit. Don't even worry about it. But I said, just for the historical contribution, just let's say what we want to say on this particular version, because I wanted to put a couple of more things from Funky Melody, a couple more hits, and that would appease my Brazilian fans.
Yes.
So I have a lot of people that I was trying to appease, but what I was trying to do was create something new. And we weren't, terrestrial radio wasn't giving us any, and we get to that because all of a sudden now, after 20 something years, radio stations are calling me. This record, I'll tell you, you were wishing it to do well, and we'll tell you how good it's doing just by leaking it. But the story behind it is our past, what it means to me, and what I thought it meant to us, those that really live in freestyle, and how it probably can just document some of what happened to us. We don't say that enough because it seems like most records are made for just like love songs all the time, a girl and a guy. But there are a lot of other topics. If you're clever, you find a way to express what you want to express. And hopefully I did a good job on this one.
Yes, again, if you're a words person, if you're a person that enjoys stories, I'm glad that you chose not to edit out anything out of the song, because it does take you back, and no pun intended on the song, but when you listen to the song, just listen to the lyrics and just sit there, and if you don't get the lyrics the first sit, listen it 2 or 3 times. I listened to it hundreds of times now because I own the original.
Really?
And now, yes, I love the song that much. I promoted it back in 2020, and I'm going to promote it again in 2023 because it's a great story. And what the audience, the people that love freestyle, should always look for is, we love the beats, the production is great, but also listen to the story. That's why songs like the Postman song, that's why Spring Love, that's why all these songs that you put out in the last 35 years are so important to our lives, and we are attached to them because of the fact of the story.
You know the real story behind Because I Love You, I think. Have we ever talked about that?
We haven't, and we would like for you to share for historical purposes. Please do.
When Warren Allen Brooks brought me the song, I wasn't even Stevie B. I mean, I was just an up-and-coming guy. Warren is an up-and-coming guy, and Warren was suffering from a little depression, and he was sad, and he used to write all these cool-ass songs because he wrote Broken Hearted, all those songs. He wrote like 8 songs on the Love and Emotion album. That's how good he was popping back then. So the real story behind Because I Love You, who's really saying, I got your letter from the postman just the other day, was God. So God says, I got your letter just the other day. So I decided to write you this song just to let you know exactly the way I feel, to let you know my love is real. So when you listen to the song now, it's the voice of God speaking to us. And that really, Because I Love You, is a gospel song. If I was to change a few little things around. So this song has a very, very deep meaning. And of course, it went to #1 all over the world.
It's an amazing song that you now look in a different light now that you know the information, if you didn't know it before. Because to me, I remember writing love letters to my crushes and putting them in letter form and actually going to their home and dropping it off in their mailbox. Now that's called stalking, so I don't.
That's called stalking, bro. I just want to let you know.
So it could have been named a Stockman song, but whatever the case.
Yeah.
But and I don't want anyone to go do that now. But back in the day, we were romantic and people didn't think that much of it. But it's great for you to share that with us because of the fact that we need to know the real facts behind certain songs. Was there an inspiration for Take It All Back?
Well, it was, we're getting to the point where, we're in that window. Well, I'm in that window. I'm 65 this year. So, we don't know our mortality. We don't know if we're going to have an opportunity to tell our stories, to say what we really want to say. And I think it was a thank you to freestyle, the style itself, as much as, we take it for granted. But freestyle is the music that allowed me to express what I wanted to say in my life, what I wanted for love, what, most of my songs are biographical, what happened to me in my life. And it allowed me to say how much I do appreciate this music, the fans, the DJs who have supported us. And let me tell you something, it's the kind of thing where you can't explain it. It's something that's unexplainable. It's unexplainable how the inspirations come, and it's unexplainable the way we're able to transfer our ideas to, it used to be to tape, but to a digital format and to the public. It's a magical format. It's a magical way to express ourselves, and I love it in a big way. And that's my way of saying thank you.
We talk about you being in this genre of music for so many years, but you're as busy as ever. I was looking over your calendar. In March, you're going to be in 3 different places. You're going to be in Vegas. You're going to be in California, Inglewood. You're going to be in Great Palm Springs. It seems like you're busier and more in demand than ever. How does that feel to still be that guy in demand all these years later?
Not being braggadocious or anything like that, but CPR, I could work probably 3 to 4 nights every week if I wanted to. I get offers to do all types of things, private events, commercial events, and I could do small clubs. I could work often. But as I got a little older, I pick and choose what I want to do now. Thank goodness I have that privilege.
Yes.
And I'm honored to still be doing the arena dates this year. The numbers are doing great. I'm going to focus a little bit more on Brazil, which I kind of take for granted, and I don't do enough because I literally don't have to do any shows in the States if I don't want to. I have a career here. And by the way, I have a new song coming where I'm singing in Portuguese. It should be ready in another couple of days, actually. But I want to take selected dates for this. I don't like doing all that flying like I used to.
Yeah.
My body can't handle it like it used to. I mean, aches and pains, bones, and just dealing with the mortality of it all. And I'm a little bit exhausted, on the big end. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the love that Brazil has for you, and the fact that you shared Brazil with a lot of artists a few years back before COVID. You did a tour in Brazil, and you invited a lot of the freestyle artists that are popular there, and the freestyle artists that they had not seen for a while. What does the love from Brazil mean to you, and how is that represented in your music?
I think, when I think about writing and stuff like that, of course, I keep the fans in mind. I keep locals in mind, locally, nationally, and then I go international. But Brazil is a vital part of what I say. The funniest thing is, they have Brazilians who speak English, but for the most part, they don't speak English. And I always was amazing that how do they know when that magic point, when they know the hook or maybe some magical pre-hook or some special words or that kind of thing. And I asked the Brazilians, and they say Brazilians have this sense of melody. They know melodies like you can never. I mean, they really sense it, and and they do their research too. You have Google Translate now, so they can find out what we're saying. They didn't know back then, though. They didn't know 30 years ago. So at the time where you're doing the hook, all of a sudden the girl starts crying. I'm like, how do you know to cry right there? So I have a special relationship now since 1990. I almost didn't come because they were begging me for a couple of years to come. And I'm not like, I don't even know where Brazil was, CPR. Because when the promoter called me, I'm like, I don't want to go to Africa, bro. I didn't even know Brazil was in South America.
Yes.
But the magical part of Brazil was the first day that I ever landed in Brazil, and I did my first 2 shows. A couple of hours later, I met what would become my wife. We met that night, and we've been together now. It's going to be 32 years in April. So Brazil plays a big part. And plus, I'm at my home. This is Brazil. I built a beautiful house here. I live here when I can. If I'm not on tour, I'll come to my home over here and pretty much.
And you deserve it. You put in the time, you put in the work. You deserve to have some R&R, and you know, we should celebrate that because that's what the dream is, right? You want to become an artist, and you want to be successful enough to you know enjoy what you've worked for. So I commend you on that, and I hope that you continue doing it for another 25 years. Which reminds me, did you get to watch the Hip Hop 50 recently at the Grammys?
I did not.
You did not. What?
I didn't see it when I see little snippets of Public Enemy. I saw a couple of them because they're showing it online, but I didn't get a chance to, because by the time they were airing, we're 5 hours difference in
Yes.
the West Coast. So if it went on at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, it's already 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And let me just tell you, I'm in bed by 10:30, 11.
Nice. That's it.
Yeah.
R&R. But I was thinking about a freestyle version of that, right? And we want to take it back to, you know, Planet Rock and this, you know, Soul Sonic 4's Africa Bambaataa, but also want to add Niobe. We want to add Shannon. We want to get into TKA. But you know, we can't have a freestyle celebration like they did in the Grammys without Stevie B coming in. You know, like you know, I don't want to make a professional wrestling analogy here, but you know, they got to acknowledge you. You know what I mean? The tribal chief.
It's tough. It's tough, CPR, for them to give me flowers. It's very tough. I understand there's a rivalry between, of course, like the New Yorkers against the South Floridians and the West Coast people and all that. So, I mean, other genres do it all the time. That's why you have all the award shows, and they're giving flowers and trophies and honors to their people. For some reason, the freestyle people don't do that, and we don't have the kind of sponsorships that it would take some outside people to come in and invest the kind of money to do shows or do award shows, that kind of thing, especially on an annual basis. But I tell you, there are a lot of people who are deserving of some flowers. And I know Sal, he gives away the honorary awards on the Fever. He does. I think he might be the only one. But I thought about it quite a bit to do the Freestyle Music Award shows. I thought about doing one, and maybe I'll still get to do it. You never know.
There are some that have tried, but you know, they sometimes need to get it right. You know what I mean? And you know, I do commend them for their efforts. So you know, hopefully in the future it will happen. But let's talk about the title of King of Freestyle, since you discussed rivalries. This King of Freestyle situation with Johnny O, it's been going on for so many years, and I'm sure that it's ended by now. But we know the reasons why Johnny O did what he did online a few months ago. But what is your take on that? I know that you gave it already, but I want to make sure that we have it here on our show.
Well, let me just say this first. I respect Johnny as an artist. He's been around just as long as all of us, and he's a good artist. And he you know, he does some good stuff. But he ain't fucking me though. You see what I'm saying? He ain't Stevie B. So the thing is, I thought there should be some criteria, and the criteria should be put out there to say, why do you think I'm gonna sit here? And I accepted that from the people. I never went out and tried to get a copyright and a mark for something and then go out and threaten the promoters and stuff like that. That's a fake. So, you know, I thought Johnny was really kidding when he did that. But a lot of people don't understand the sacrifices I made to freestyle music, to support my career, to support others' careers, developing Jaya, MC Zeus, Corel, Warren Brooks. I brought writers, producers, engineers. I gave employment to hundreds of people. And at the same time, I was a promoter, a writer, producer, singer, all of these things. So these accolades, there are a lot of people who recognize those things, you know, and then you cross continents, go over to Germany, you go to Brazil, go to the Philippines, go all these places and represent the artist. And then when I got in place, CPR, I invited, like you were talking about, I do a thing called the Party of Dreams by the Sonias, which means the Party of Dreams. But I think about that. I think about the artists who never got an opportunity to come to Brazil and see. Peter Fontaine, his record is You Have No Idea How Big Just Like the Wind is. And I'm going to say this, it's just as big as Spring Love over here. Okay. There are artists that we know and have seen they can't do very much in the States, but those records are big. And I mean, Naija does well. And the group Freestyle, it's automatic. I know. They're gods over here, bro. They're gods. So I'm like, this is unheard of. Why aren't they coming here? Why haven't they come? For some reasons or whatever they may be, the stars didn't align for them to come. But the Noels and the who's that? Running so hard to find you.
Information Society.
Information just left. They were 3 minutes from my house last week. So I didn't get a chance to go over. The promoter invited me, but if it's after fucking 11 o'clock at CPR, I ain't going.
So basically, to recap what you just stated, you're a person that opened doors and earned the title King of Freestyle. And then, you know, what ended up happening with Johnny O was that he deemed himself the King of Freestyle, and then it became a situation for over 20 years that he's been online and before that. But what he did was that he relinquished it recently and he put it online instead of contacting the people that he's hurt or that he's disrespected in person and discuss that, because you don't put an apology online. And I say that the apology has to be as big as the disrespect. So that's the reason why I stated that he needed to directly, not to put it online. If the damage was done, and I've seen some of the skits that you've put out through the years and all the, you know, the teasing, the memeing and stuff like that. And I think that's all in fun. But you know, the way that social media is these days, you know, people are ultra sensitive. People don't know how to have fun and have actual conversation. And I'm glad that you're here to address it. But bottom line, you opened for Johnny O to be on your tours, correct?
Of course. TKA, I'm one of the first ones that brought K7 and George Lamont and Cover Girls all to the West Coast. They weren't coming to the West Coast at the time. I was doing my own promotion at this big venue in San Jose. I brought them to San Jose. I brought them several times. So look, I don't take it as serious as most people, but you know, that became a brand, and that brand was attached to me, and promoters use it. I use it in advertising and all that stuff. But when you got other people going out there and memeing and making fun of your titles, this is a great title. When people say you're the king of something, you know, you have to be able to bless others as a king. You have to be able to do things for others as a king, but you need to show off too. So I take it like this. If you can compete with the platinum records, the gold records, what I've done, people I've helped, doors I've opened, then you can do a versus, but there's no competition. And I said, you know what? I'm going to drop the hammer on their ass with this take it all back thing, because now it's it could be like a new twist on how we present ourselves to radio, which is challenging. And they're needy now for something. But how do we capture the old school, mix it with the new school, and make it something cool as hell? How do you make it fresh?
Yes.
So I think I might have made a good point with this this new mix.
Yeah. You know, also as a king, you have final say on who gets on your shows. And that's what people don't understand that behind the scenes. Like, if you wanted to stifle someone and say, hey, I don't want these people on here, you would do that. But you know, I have never heard that you've done that. And I'm sure I'm sure you have. I said I've never heard. I'm sure that you have done it. But again, it's a situation where the apology has to be as big as the disrespect.
I'll tell you like this here. See, to be a king, you have to be wise. Johnny, no matter how I might feel about him, he still might put 500 people in a building. So if I have a financial interest in the show, and I do, wouldn't it be better to put my little ego aside, let Johnny come and perform, and it's about the bag?
Listen, there's a lot of people that say negative things about me, but they show up to my shows, and I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, man, I'll take your $40. It's not a problem. Come on in, have fun. You know, drink as much as you want because the bar's gonna make money, and they're gonna call me back to promote more shows. And that's business, and not social media, not you know, personal or anything like that. So we're gonna move away from this topic because I think we've covered it. We're gonna go back to Take It All Back. You know, I hope that people can be aware of how great this song is lyrics wise. Are there going to be any additional remixes to the song? Are you going to put out an EP or a single on it with many different mixes?
There already is the radio mix of the DJ Sama version that everybody's loving right now is already been edited down for radio. There's an original version that was the normal version before you hear some of the samples and some of the things involved in it. Ed Ramos, Connecticut, my boy,
Nice. Platinum.
love that brother. He's just so awesome. Awesome. You know, sometimes people are just a pleasure to work with. And then his skill set is matched by not very many. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, Edwin is great, and the good thing about it is he's a student of the game, so he knows the genre, he knows the music, he knows how to blend it together, he knows how to mix it down, and that's why so many are going to him.
He and I, you know, when we first got together, there was a little tension there because I'm pretty strong-minded, and if you know Edwin, he's very strong-minded.
I know it.
He's a musical genius. I mean, and then he's an engineer, he's a producer, writer. I mean, I think on Beautiful, So Beautiful. You see, people know I already did So Beautiful over again, also.
Nice. I like that song as well. Very,
Very
very
nice.
good
You
song.
need to hear Ed Ramos' version of it. And he sang background vocals. I needed him, and he sang it on one of the tracks. He said, "Oh, I added the background." I was like, "Oh, here we go." And damn, and lo and behold, he nailed it. And I think
I've heard his background vocals for 25 years. He's done it so many times for so many people.
he
But to
does.
have it in your song, I'm sure he's stoked about
I
that.
think it was in. It's on Take It All Back. I think it's one harmony, but but I knew it. But actually, he corrected one of my things, and then he added, and then I had two different versions of the synthesizer part went on the break, and we didn't want to get rid of either one of them. So what he did was he created a combination of the two, and the ones you hear is the combination of the two, and that was it. Did that. So there's a original version of the new version, not the original from 2020, that Ed mixed, and then I left it like that. I didn't really want. I wanted it to be like that because when I was doing these songs, I got to tell you what this inspiration that I've had for the last 8 months or so. I said, you know, I'll back and do, because you know, Best of Life was a fusion of a lot of things.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I did it, but I said I want to do before I die, and I think about my mortality quite often. I said, because people are dropping dead, you know, all around me. My classmates, I get calls like, you know, once or twice a month at some of our classmates, because I'm in that window, you know, I'm 65 years old. Anything could really do happen, you know. I try to exercise and stay a little healthy, but you don't know what the hell's gonna happen. So I said, I want to be able to, because people always say, you're really not freestyle, Steve. You're not freestyle. But then when I hear freestyle from some of the newer artists, and you know who they are.
They're trying to sound like Stevie.
Look, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Some of that shit is corny as fuck. Okay, excuse my French. I don't know why we blame that on the French, but CPR. Some of that shit is just fucking corny.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I can tell within the first 8 bars who they trying to mimic. Okay, I said, well, every time I do a song, you listen to Take It All Back. In the place, B was the basement, all the way in Caden Ring, and I know you miss it. I know you miss it. That don't sound like no freestyle, regular freestyle shit. See, the way I say it, how I say it within the group, that don't sound like anything from anybody, not even Stevie B. Because my competition is me. But when I hear some of the guys out there, you know, they sounding just like George. They sounding just like this one. They think it's important that they have to sound just like somebody. And they don't know. We already have who you're trying to sound like. So that's a big mistake. But some of the shit is just corny as all outdoors. So back to my motivation. I said I wanted to do a really pure freestyle. I don't know if it'll be an album. It might be more than an album. It might be just a collection. I mean, I probably have 10 tracks already to the side. I have one called a Freestyle Lover. Okay. And the Freestyle Lover is the freestyle genre. And I talk about how she changed me. She allowed me to open up. She allowed me to express myself. And I tell her in the song, you've been around, we miss you, where you been. You know, it's the same. Imagine you're talking to a chick. We miss you, you were a part of our life. What happened to you? And the hook of the song is, it's time to celebrate. It's time for a freestyle celebration. So how I was going to express it, I already got it. So if you got some listeners out there thinking about stealing that idea, you know, who did a pretty good almost was what's the kid, something L,
Danny L freestyle.
and see, I love Danny's thing. I don't know what happened to him. I'm sorry that he fell off.
Yeah, you know, he got scared away. We tend to scare some people away. But I think it was a great song that he could have done well with. And you know, it's also a good song that he could have provided to established artists so they can sing it, like yourself.
Yeah,
I know that you love that
actually,
song.
I've been trying to contact him. I would have bought the record. I want to. Well, I'm just saying, I'll buy the record from him, and when I do it, I'll put my twist on it. But that's really what Take It All Back is. So the original idea was, pay attention. I wanted to do one when it was time to do the break and put in something nostalgic. I could have did Wonder If You Take Me Home. I could have did George Lamont. I could have put any of the people from the genre, but some of those people don't fuck with me. So guess what? I don't fuck with them either. We all do our thing. We go on our own way. But imagine putting a taste of each one of those people, the nostalgia that it brings, the feeling that it brings.
Absolutely, just like that hip hop 50 at the Grammys. That's why in my mind I was thinking about the freestyle version of that, having George Lamont up there, Lisa, even though she says she's not freestyle, so no disrespect. You know, but Shannon and Africa Bambaataa, just bringing it 35, 40 years of freestyle. Cynthia, Sapphire, just TKA, everybody.
It's a Broadway show. It's a theatrical presentation. Absolutely. And people would love it. I mean, imagine artists coming in and off the stage, giving a rendition of that part of the history. We got 35 years in this. Most artists don't last 35 months, let alone talking about. We've been in this going on 4 decades now. We have a wonderful story to tell, but like I say, for some reason, they don't want it to come from me. You see, they don't want it to come from me. But you know what? I'm comfortable where I am. I'm comfortable. But so let's get back to what I wanted to do for the freestyle thing. And like I say, Take It All Back in my mind. I could be honest with you. I offered this song to Lisa. She turned it down. I know she's gonna see this, and I like Lisa.
I love Lisa too.
I don't think she makes good musical choices because I heard some of her releases in there, and you know I ain't ragging on her. Everybody gonna say Stevie B talking shit about Lisa. But if I was her producer, I know how to produce Lisa. You see, I know her vocal range, I know what she did. And I know she fits in with what we do, but she's never crossed in creatively. She always stayed a little bit off from us, and she has her reasons. But for someone that's been a part of us, and she has not been a part of the Latin urban of where they were in 85, 86, 87. She's been with us ever since I remember. So I thought it would be cool if she just was just, hey, do something with us. And I had a verse written, one of those verses, and take it all back. I mean, maybe she didn't even know. I presented it to her people. Let's say that. Let's say this. I presented it to her people. So let's set the record because she was like, "Oh, what the fuck Stevie B talking about all that shit?" Shit. I presented it to her people, and the word was she wasn't interested. So, but imagine that if we would have put some tidbits of.
Can I touch on musical choices? Because what I see a lot on social media recently, in the last 5 years at least, is that the original artists, such as yourself and some of the others, they come back and they're not happy with the fact that the freestyle community or music itself is not accepting their new material. And I go back to the point that you're saying is the choice that they make, because when they put out some stuff, the production's not there, the lyrics are not there, the writing is not there, it's not there, and then for some reason, they have these small meltdowns on Facebook Live or whatever the case may be. And I just wonder if you guys do talk to each other and offer the advice or offer the hand to assist each other, because I think that, if you guys do offer that hand in assistance, that they can get to the sound and lyrics that they need.
You want me to tell you what? I'm not going to tell you what's politically correct. You want me to tell you what I really feel?
Absolutely.
I've been trying to help motherfuckers since I started. I started off with a crew of people helping. You're the old lion on the hill. What the fuck do you think the young lion want to do?
They want to do a recreation of the Lion King?
Okay. So I put Jaya on, right? You remember the Jaya record?
Absolutely.
I wrote the record, produced the record. Glenn Gutierrez, Stevie B, Thatcher Alibi. But I wrote that record. Gave that girl a record, gave her a hit record, gave her a career. But people fuck you around. Okay. So the young lions, even though they come humbly, respectfully, but what you think they really feeling inside they want to do?
They want your spot.
They want my motherfucking spot. So I stopped offering my spot.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is cyclical because it continues on to this day.
Okay, so let me say what I'm going to say. We have challenges from the OGs, the Johnnies, the K's, the Georges, people that's been around a long time. They want to be, the top of the food chain. In freestyle, I am the top of the food chain. So what you think they trying to do? Everybody, what's the first thing I did and all that? Start talking shit about Stevie B and Stevie B and shit.
Yeah, it's the rub. I've talked about this many times. It's the rub. You want to say whatever you want to say out there on social media, and you're going fishing. You want to see if they're going to take the bait, and once the bait is taken, and for you did your rant many years back, and yes, I thank you, and I agreed 100%, especially with the music coming.
Do you see them around anymore?
No, thank you. No Tanasi 6. No Tanasi 6'9".
Imagine if I wouldn't have said nothing.
No more Tanasi 6'9", and just for that, I thank you, because he took the first compilation, and I will say this as a side note. He messed up every single song for every single classic artist that was featured. It was off sync, poorly written. It was one of the worst compilations with great artists that I ever heard in my life. And
it was exactly what you were talking about. It's our worst fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
it was. And when I heard it, and the funny thing is, people don't know my relationship with Tanasi. Tanasi is one of Stevie B's biggest fans. He's from what's the name in Germany?
Germany, yeah.
I've gone to the, eat with him. He's, I mean, huge fan. He's one of those fanatical fans.
Mhm.
But then he always wanted to be a DJ. He was a DJ and he wanted to produce. But when supposedly he came in and he got a little bread and he wanted to produce, and he was producing with the kid Adriano out of Brazil, and then he was working with the kid over in Seattle. What's his name? Kenny Freestyle.
Yes.
You know, all these, and they start talking shit, and I'm like, you better put your fucking boxing shoes on. You want to come? But they kept saying that they are the new. This is where freestyle is going, and I'm like, this shit ain't going nowhere.
Listen, first of all, in my book, there's the upper tier, the middle tier, and the lower tier. They were
Yes.
the never tier. They
Shoot,
were the never
here.
you know. So
okay, and they said, what month are you gonna come? Never worry. Okay, what, February, January, or never worry? Because never worry, you ain't gonna hear from that shit no more. And I made clear
thank you so much.
that wasn't gonna happen, because I knew that at some point something cool was gonna happen for us, and we would have to show our faces, and they weren't going to be the ones to represent what I do. And I know there are a lot of Andy Panda, a lot of writers, producers who have sacrificed with good quality stuff, #1 records and stuff like that, was not going to be represented by them fools. I can tell you that.
Yeah, especially if they don't know anything. They're just DJs that are trying to be something that they're not. But I'm glad they're gone. And I'm sorry to all the artists that were featured on those compilations. It's not that they weren't quality artists for the most part, but how do you mess up the greatest background singer of all time? And she sang a song on there. It made no sense. It was just horrible. I won't even mention her name, but you know, I thank you for the rant, and for people that understood I don't want to call it the rant, your conversation with the community.
I was ranting. Shit, say what it is. What it is. I was fucking ranting.
The Stevie B rant, right?
That's
So
right.
you understood where you were coming from. It's just that with social media, they twisted to their liking so they can get a rub off of Stevie B. Hey, Stevie B's coming at me, so I gotta go at him, and now I can make my name off of him.
Sometimes the lion needs a good fight so he can test his skill sets if he's still got it.
Yeah.
You know, around your house when you got kids, sometimes you got to go pick up that fucking refrigerator, let them know you ain't fucking around in here, and that goddamn bedroom better get cleaned up right now. There's gonna be some furniture moving around up in here.
Man, listen, it's great to have you here on the show, because and I've been trying to do this for you for a couple of years now, and I know that we got to talk about the best of life, but we didn't really get to touch on some of these topics, and I'm glad that we are. And it's really an honor and a pleasure to have you here. Please send all your hate mail to StevieBFanclub@AOL.com. I think he still has a CD somewhere over there in Brazil.
We still look. I don't mind some of the people who come at me. I mean, they come and they talk their little stuff, but what I like to do is, you know, when you try to do a versus, everybody's talking about this concept of a versus. I'm like, who are you gonna put in a versus? Oh, you're gonna put K? No, you're not gonna put K. K gonna last 3 songs. Maria, what's the other one he got? It's good songs.
He got a great catalog of songs. He got
a couple of songs.
He got 75 to 80% of the TKA records were all led by him. So
okay, I'm just saying, he'll run out of gas. I got 20-something albums of songs, stuff that's cult classics. So I let him run through his whole catalog, and I just be sitting back like, and I'm talking competitive wise. Kay know how I feel. You know, we don't dislike each other that way, but we're competitors. So, you know, they're gonna put George. George's gonna sing a good song, but he gonna run out of shit too. I'm never gonna run out of music.
Well, yeah, and especially with the catalog that you have been the most consistent artist in freestyle or in dance and pop, releasing albums, you know, every year, every 2 years. I looked at the schedule that you've kept since 2010. There's at least 10 to 12 albums on iTunes that you can choose from. There's Brazilian versions, there's American versions.
And I sing in various languages.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's and it's a situation where you have a big, huge catalog. But if but I would love to see a versus. Just
who you gonna tell me who you gonna put up against me?
I would like it.
Bring your best fighter to best fighter to the cage. Who you got?
It will not be catalog for catalog. It will be at least 5 songs, right? So we can have your top 5 songs, right? I would do a Johnny O versus Stevie B just to sell that on pay. That's gonna be a sellout on pay-per-view. Even in professional wrestling, even Hulk Hogan had to take on Kamala or another
CPR.
jobber. You know what I mean?
CPR, stop it.
We could book that. We could book that.
I would crush him with one paw.
Come on with the Highways of Love, Fantasy Girl.
Okay, what else?
Yeah, but it's 5 for 5.
What's the second one? Show me what the second one is.
So it'll be Fantasy Girls, Highways of Love,
Fantasy
Don't Go Away.
Okay.
Don't Go Away. Memories, Runaway Love. I'm just thinking from the top of my head. See, Johnny, I'm sticking for you. My One and Only Love, which is the last great song that he did. So he could go 5 for 5 with you.
And then where he gonna go after that?
I don't know. Probably to the hotel with his L. I don't know. But at least it'll be a great show that will sell a lot of pay-per-views.
He can't stand up to me on the stage. He can't stand up to me in the vocal. He's got a pretty good little vocal. He got a little voice,
Okay, look, we're gonna steal the shit back. So listen, I want to thank you again for being here. It's always an honor and a pleasure. I can't wait for the Take It All Back revisit. I'm gonna be playing it this week on my shows. By the way, I'm syndicated in 6 FM radio stations right now, so
beautiful.
I'm trying my best. Trying my best.
You got flowers from Stevie B, I can tell you. It's a tough haul out here, brother. Congratulations.
Yeah, I love when you say people don't like CPR. He tells it like it is, and I have that little clip forever. You can't take that back. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna play it on this episode.
That's great.
Stevie B, you're very busy. You're doing the rounds. I'm truly happy that you're more busier than ever. And please stop talking about mortality because you're gonna live forever. And we're gonna have you here for so many years. You're gonna come out in a wheelchair at 95 doing Spring Love. I know it.
Oh hell no, I'm not.
It'll be motorized. So you're like,
95. Let me tell you something. 95 is a long time to be here, bro.
Yeah, put your teeth back in. Spring.
See, I don't even look forward to that. No. I love this place, but my imagination is pretty big, and I hopefully the universe will take me gracefully, and don't let me get to fucking 95, bro. 95 is painful. You see what a 95-year-old looks like?
I do. But I can only wish and hope for the best for you and pray that you stay as healthy as you are now.
I know what you mean.
We when we have freestyle icons like yourself, right? Because you're a freestyle icon. We want to have you forever. We never want to see you grow old. We never want to see you.
Listen to me. I'm always going to be with you. I live within my music.
I know.
It's a representation of my spirit. It's a representation of me. So, matter of fact, I've been living with most of y'all for the last 35 years. I've been in your homes. I made children. Y'all made children with my music. So I'm a part of most of you people's lives. So this music will live for as long as they have applications and Spotify's and your own personal stuff. So I'll be around a while. Don't worry about me. You see, I'm thinking long ways out, and everything ain't always got to be here.
Yeah, and I wanna finish up with you telling us when is the release of Take It All Back.
Well, we're kind of like slow dripping it right now. I couldn't wait because I wanted to have something buzzing, something to talk about before the tour starts next month. So, but all the parts are being put together. I'm launching my own podcast.
Excellent.
It's called Freestyling with Stevie B.
You got a subscriber right here.
Okay, thank you, brother. And Felix Sama out of Miami. Felix and I go way, way back, and it's going to be Felix is going to host it for me. And we've been talking about the kind of topics
I love that song, so I can't wait. I gotta, of course, block out the swears because you're killing it in the swears department on that song. But I love it. Well, I'm on my FM radio. You know how it goes.
Okay. I'm just saying. But people got to look at it like this. Don't take every fucking thing so personal. Now, that song is personal.
Mm-hmm.
That song is hella personal. And that song has some deep meaning in there. And when Denzel plays the villain, people, you know what I'm saying? I'm playing a part. Profanity is a part of what we do. I've been fucking cursing since I probably was 3-4 years old.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna bleep you, so you can say whatever you want.
Good. I'm just saying, it's just a part of what we do. It's an expression when you use curse words. It's not to insult anybody, but if you've lived in the world as long as us, I deserve to fucking use a couple of curse words.
Throw whatever F-bomb you want, sir, but we're gonna let you go right now.
Yeah.
I can't wait for So Beautiful. I can't wait for remixes, the Edwin Ramos version that you discussed. I can't wait for that. But right now, the discussion is Take It All Back. You can listen to it on the CPR's Clubhouse Freestyle Universe programming. And of course, you're doing the rounds. You're going to all the radio stations. They must be loving it right now. Is their dream come true? So congratulations to them.
Thank you.
And Stevie B, thank you so much for being here as part of CPR's Clubhouse Live.
I'm a fan. Let's do it again sometime.
Make sure you invite me to your podcast to discuss
stuff. You're coming.
I love it. I want to do that.
You're coming. I like your conversation. Thank you, brother.
The King of Freestyle, Mr. Stevie B.
Stevie B. Go back. Way back. From the minute that I seen you, I was sweating you like a freshman, just a senior. I couldn't even sleep, waiting for the next day just to see you, girl, just to see you. When you walk by my heart, you skip the beat like a scratch CD. I was knee deep in them 4 letters L-O-V-E, sprung on Sting Love, damn, she got it.
Take it all back. You remember way back time when the world was so uptight and hot damn I miss it. Hot damn I miss it. We were young, we were wild and free. All I wanted was a move of feet and hot damn I miss it. Hot damn I miss it. Look around and everybody was getting down. No one on the wall and standing up in the crowd. We put our problems up on our shelves and enjoyed ourselves. I know it helps. If we take it all back to how it used to be, ain't only you and me, it's our love. If we can take it all back, we're breaking in the streets and fall in love to the beat. If we can take it all back, your body, make you feel alive. Your body, dancing with you on the line. Your body, even if you want some more. Your body, take it all back to this Friday night. Hot wheels on Miami was you and I. Hot damn, I miss it. Good times, no static. Southeast is something right. Little heat to the mix, make dynamite. Freestyle was solid. Couldn't tell us nothing. We put the groove sound club on the radio. On 96, didn't make us unstoppable. This sing of music never gets old. It should move your soul. I know you know. If we take it all back to how it used to be, ain't only you and me, it's our love. If we it. And the DJ would make it sweet when he played plenty rock, go Stevie B. Those jams were city.